amazing. Okay. So my name is Paul Sondergaard. I've been doing this for just on short of 10 years. My interest in it is in language and how we utilize language to understand things. So the whole thing based on language. I'm not alone in it. There was a whole team who put this together, and we've been doing exceptionally well in assisting teachers, schools, and learners in achieving amazing maths results. So I'm going to put my little slideshow up so that we can work through it. It's called the My Maths Buddy School Program. Just to give you a bit of history, we've been all over the country, and we don't just do teacher seminars. There's a phase that follows that where we attend to what the learners need as well, but we do that in coordination with you. Okay, so just a little bit about what we do, about us, all right, is, as I mentioned, we were launched in 2013 to address maths teachers, and we traveled to 18 schools across the country with the introduction of our initial workshop, and we call it the Marvelous My Maths Buddy, which is quite an incredible book. And I can attest that I've never met a learner or a teacher who hasn't improved their maths educating or their maths results when using this book. That's quite a remarkable statement to make. So in that period of time, over 30,000 learners have gained something from this of significance. More than 4,000 teachers. In fact, I think we just clocked 4,500 teachers through our workshops and seminars. And you can see from an audited statistical basis of 28 schools, we averaged 14% increase in 5 months in those schools. That is quite remarkable. I think you would agree. Okay. So again, if anybody's got any comments or they have a question or something, please just drop it on the chat. With the screen up now, I'm not able to access the chat directly, but Busi's there, and she will then answer your questions or notify me if there's anything that I need to stop and deal with. Once I've gone through the presentation, what I will do is then we can have a Q&A session, and you can drop your questions. I'll pick up all the points you make, and we can communicate between each other. Because ultimately what we want to do, and our intention, is to make you the best you can possibly be. And the measure of that is your ability to get the best out of your learners you can possibly get. Imagine changing the condition in your school. I'll give you one example. Sono Primary in Brits. We did a project there, it's a couple of years ago now, obviously before lockdown. And we addressed and workshopped the teachers, and then we were lucky enough to do grade 6 and 7. In one term, that school's results for grade 6 and 7 improved by 34%. That is quite remarkable. We've had other amazing changes in schools. I can give you one example of, my favorite story. Tapelo is a young man. He was at school in Soshanguve, in a school with approximately 2,000 learners. At the end of grade 11, he had 37% for maths and hated the subject. All he wanted was out. He wanted to go to maths literacy. He was convinced to follow through with this program. And by the end of grade 12, he had 76%. Now that's a remarkable change. But that's not the end of the story. He went on and qualified at the end of 2019 as an actuarial scientist. The most advanced maths degree you can do. Isn't that an amazing story? There's also a youngster named Given who comes from Johannesburg South area, and his last time he got over 50% in maths was in grade 7. In the middle of grade 12, he had 42%. He got onto this program. In fact, he went through the My Maths Buddy book 3 times. At the end of the year, his final year exam showed an 88% pass. How's that? 88%. It was such a noticeable change that the MEC for Education at the time in Gauteng arranged a bursary for him. And today he's a practicing qualified mechanical engineer. I could spend the whole afternoon just giving you stories, you know, the two young girls who now are in medical school, who originally were at just below 30% when they got onto this program. Now they're going to be doctors, okay? So we can change that. And the whole thing is to provide you with a methodology that's going to help you to do that and accelerate maths learning with understanding. Imagine if you never had to repeat over and over again the same message to your learners. Okay, here's another prime example. Sekhukhune Primary School, we've been working there for a number of years. You can see by the graph, when we started there, 12% pass rate. It's now one of the best performing schools in their district, and in fact in the whole Ekurhuleni municipality mathematically. That's like one of our flagship examples, but they've been with us for some time and utilizing the program on an annual basis. All right. So what is it that we do? What is it that we have? Our premise that we base this whole program on is this. If you understand something very well, you cannot fail at it. Think about that. You probably all drive cars, right? Now, think back to that first driving lesson you had. How did you feel? You definitely didn't understand all the parts, right? How everything worked together. Maybe you stalled the car, you ground the gears, bumped the curb, and were nervous. Okay? Now, when you get in your car and drive somewhere, you don't even think about the function of the car. You just do it because you understand it very well and you cannot fail at it. You just get in, turn the key, and off you go because you have full understanding of driving a car. So now how do we get that concept into the learner in front of you? But let's look at it the other way around. If you don't understand something well, the perception is it's difficult and hard to pass. Isn't that the current definition of mathematics? We don't understand it very well. The perception is it's difficult and it's hard to pass. We can switch that around and we know that it works and we know we can do it with any teacher anywhere in this country. We can help you to be the master of understanding for your learners, or the mistress for understanding for your learners, okay? Because this is a methodology that's exact, and once you've got it, it works. It's like riding a bicycle or riding a car. Once you've got it, and you've got it forevermore. All right. So here's the thing that we live with. If you know something, you don't have to think about it. I'm talking words to you. Those words I know, they automatically, I just put them together and create a message. And the creation I'm doing is a message to you. If I know something like how to fry an egg, I don't have to think, oh, I must now put the oil in. I just automatically put the oil or butter in the pan. I turn the pan on, I crack the egg, I put it in, I watch it, maybe I flip it, and it's done. If I know how to bake a cake, I just do it, okay? If I know how to plant a seed, I just plant a seed. Whatever it is that you know, you don't have to think about, you just do them. Think about things in your daily existence that you just automatically do. You don't have to think about getting dressed. You get dressed. You may have to think about what you want to dress in, but that's not the function of getting dressed. Or tying a shoelace, it's automatic. You don't have to think about it. But then there's the next part, which is you cannot think with what you don't know. Okay. So here's where we get to the matter. This is where we know we have a methodology that can help you to change the condition for your own teaching and for your learners. Imagine how you would feel if your class suddenly went up 10 or 15% in results And those kids who sit at the back and give you a hard time are all of a sudden interested in what maths is and start showing an improvement. Imagine if you could pull that off. How would it make you feel as a teacher? How, if, for the principals there, how would it make you feel if your teachers started doing that and your school started outperforming the rest of the schools in your circuit or your cluster? How would that make you feel? What would it do for the school? And like with Sekhukhune, they were upgraded as a school. And of course, you know that as you get upgraded, so benefits improve for each school that gets to produce better results. All right. So what I'd like to do here, if everybody can just go with me on this one, is we're going to do a little practical. Okay. I would like everybody's participation. You all cool with that? All right, great. Okay, what I'd like you to do is think of a house. Get a picture of a house in your mind, any house. You got it? Okay. Now around that house, put green grass. And now around the grass and the house, put a nice fence with a beautiful front gate. You got your pictures? Okay, great. Now in the front garden, put a big tree with lots of green leaves. And then near that tree, put a dub. And then the other side of the dub, put another tree with lots of green leaves. And then under that second tree, what I'd like you to do is put a flower bed with 6 white flowers in it. Okay? White plants with white flowers. All right, you got that. Okay, cool. Now, what can you do with the dub to make the garden more attractive? Okay. As it's a webinar, I can't get your immediate response, but I'm sure, and look at it this way for each one of you. This is probably what happened. You were painting a nice movie. You got the house, the grass, the fence, the gate, the first tree, and then what happened to your picture when I said dub? Because who knows what a dub is? We could say, oh, I thought you said dove, or I thought you said dump. But mathematics is exact. If you don't have an exact thing, you're not going to get exactly what you want. That makes sense to you? All right. So I'm asking you a question, what can you do with a dub to make the garden more attractive? But back then, when I said dub the first time, what happened to your picture? Did it go blank? You see that first illustration there at the bottom? That's a blank feeling because you can't get a picture of what you don't know. And then in addition to that, did you find yourself go, what did he just say? What is a dub? Isn't that true? You found yourself doing that, right? Now, isn't it an amazing thing that the very person we ask for the answer is the very person who doesn't have the answer? Because if you're asking yourself, it's an automatic reaction. You are the one who doesn't have the answer. Do you see that? How many times in class do you see kids put up their hand and say, sorry, ma'am, or sorry, sir, I didn't understand the word you used there? Doesn't happen, eh? Doesn't happen. I've workshopped over 30,000 learners and over 4,000 math teachers, and I can tell you it's probably happened less than a dozen times, okay? Because it's not natural for us to do that. It's natural for us to go, oh, I wonder what that is. I'll find out later. And of course, we never find out. Okay? So now imagine I'm the maths teacher and all of you out there are in the class, okay? And I've asked this question of one of you in front of all your friends in class. How do you feel? The first thing is you can't think with what you don't know. So you kind of go, You see? You can't think with what you don't know. So now you feel irritated by that. Maybe you feel a little stupid, like, hey, I should know this answer. I don't know, And then the other thing that happens is you feel embarrassed in front of your friends. Me as the teacher, I can't just go, okay, I've got half an hour to get through the session. What I'm going to do is spend 20 minutes with you to solve your problem and ignore the rest of the class. No, I go, all right, let me ask that kid. Okay, I reject you or I neglect you. How many times does it happen to a learner in class? So now those are negative emotions about mathematics. And so the aversion for mathematics builds based on the inability to understand the terminology. And eventually you get to the point where the youngster goes, I'm not good at maths. And he talks to his parents and his marks are terrible, and he goes, and they agree with him, and they go, yeah, our son is not good at maths. And then we go and talk to the teacher. And because there's no known methodology that can solve the problem, we all agree, little Sipho is not good at maths. He should do something else. And it's not true. We've taken kids from 3%, 9%, 19%, up to the point of passing in a very short space of time. We can help you to do it with your learners. We know we can. We've experienced this, and we have the statistics to show it. Okay. And of course, I still haven't told you what a dub is. And we could end this webinar and I never tell you, and you probably wouldn't think to look it up because you have no reference point. You have no picture. There's nothing to connect it to. So if I tell you a dub is just an old word for a pond or a fish pond, did your picture come back immediately? Right there between the trees is the pond. How do you feel? You feel a little relief, don't you? All of a sudden, you got it. Now I come to you and I say, what can you do with a dub to make the garden more attractive? You've got an answer. You can work out an answer. And what changed? Your intelligence didn't change. You're still wearing the same size shoes. You still got the same color eyes. Just your understanding. You now understand. So imagine if you could take all the words sequentially, grade by grade, that a learner hasn't grasped and get his understanding in on all that language. And you can do it in a short space of time, and you can spot when it happens that he has a misunderstanding. What would that do for you? Because those 3 illustrations down the bottom, that's part of our training. We train you to see the physical phenomena of the mental problem. The mental problem being, I don't understand the word, but the youngster doesn't know he doesn't know. Because if he knew, he would ask. So he doesn't know, he doesn't understand. Okay? And so he gets a reaction to that. He gets a blank feeling. You see kids yawning in your class, 100% of the time I can tell you, and you can find it, it's a misunderstood word. Okay? The excuse of, oh, I had a late night, I didn't get good sleep, I didn't have breakfast. He walked into the class not yawning. 10 minutes later, he starts yawning. Why? We can give that to you, and we can give you the immediate solution to it that can handle right there and then. The one in the middle, the sore eyes, the matchstick eyes, and all that sort of thing. It's a lack of concept. We can give you the ability to spot it and all of the other phenomena that occur when a learner cannot grasp a concept, and give you the exact tools to remedy that on the spot. Now imagine if you get to the end of teaching your class for the day and 100% of your kids are with you and understand and can apply what you just went over. How do you feel the next day? You don't have to do half the time repairing or going over and over and over until hopefully they get it. Isn't that an incredible golden gem? Okay, so I've given you what a dub is. And now think about this. What is the biggest complaint for grade 8 teachers? The basics or the foundation are not in. How do you recover it? We can show you how to recover it in a matter of a few weeks, or at least, with everything else going on, a term. You could recover all of their missing understandings or clear up all their misunderstandings from the beginning of maths to grade 8. If they're in grade 9, from the beginning of maths to grade 9. If they're in grade 12, from the beginning of maths to grade 12, and so on. Like if he's in grade 5, it's much easier. There's far less words, can take maybe a week, 40 minutes a day, and it's done. That changes the whole perspective of the learner on maths and your whole perspective on what you can do to handle all your struggling learners and to enhance your performance. Fantastic, right? Okay. just moving on there. Basically, just in summary, our purpose is gaining that full understanding of maths terminology and maths language so that the learners are with you. And when they're not with you, you can see they're not with you. You have the exact solution to solve that problem on an immediate basis and get them with you. Imagine that. Imagine those youngsters, and I'm sure each one of you can think of, I've got this chap who sits in my class and he looks dense. He looks dumb. You know what dumb is? Dumb is just inability to think. He will look intelligent and behave intelligently when you give him the power to think, because all you're doing in that long line of mathematics he's been through is you filling those blanks in and giving him the understanding. And all of a sudden, those kids that look at you are now no longer doing that. They can think, and you've helped them to do that. You've achieved the product that you set out to do. When you went to teacher training college, you decided, didn't you? I am going to change the world. I'm going to educate kids so that they have a future. And sometime down the line, loss after loss after loss, can't handle this struggling kid, send this one to a tutor, didn't happen. Send this one to a maths franchise, didn't happen. And you have now the power in your hands through this program to be able to solve the problems of every struggling learner in your class. Every struggling learner in your class, by getting their understanding in. Because if you understand something really well, you cannot fail at it. Okay. So again, if you've got any comments or you've got any, realizations of something that happened with you, please just let us know. Like I said, as soon as I'm through the slides, I'm going to go and look at the chat and get in communication with you. In the meantime, if something needed to be answered right away, Boosie's in the room next door. She's looking after that side of things. Okay. And then if you want to look at this program for yourself as a teacher and get onto it and book yourself in, she will provide you with the link. And then for the schools, for principals and HODs, if you want to look at the school being involved, like you want 2 or more teachers to be involved, then there's a second link she'll provide, which is where you can go just to request a quotation. Okay. But I'll cover that a bit more just now. All right. So how do we do this? Okay. How do we deliver what I've just said? How do we deliver what we promise? Okay. We've done, the first part is a seminar. Okay. The seminar is 2 hours long. As you can see, we normally do it on site or we do it online. Okay. So where there's a school and there's a fair number of teachers or a combination of schools, we do it on site. If it's, just for yourself, you want to get onto the online one, and you will be amazed at what you get in this seminar. And I'm sure it's going to change your life. Okay. So there it is, Effective Maths Teaching for Understanding seminar, and it's SACE approved. So you do get points for this, and you do get an accreditation for it. All right. So again, either on Zoom, online, or on site. Okay. And then you get a kit. You get a whole kit of material. You get the My Maths Buddy. The My Maths Buddy is, by statistics, the best maths dictionary in the world. In fact, by definition, it's the only maths dictionary in the world. It's the only one that contains all the component parts for full conceptual understanding and has everything you need to get that understanding. And not only that, every word in the book is identified from the grade level it comes from. So a grade 3 word, a grade 8 word, and so on. Okay, and it helps you, and we'll give you the methodology to utilize that gradient of words to rehabilitate any learner back to succeeding in maths. Okay, you get the manual. The manual provides you with a lot of information, and a lot of information that's covered in the seminar and how everything fits together. You get the terminology workbook for teachers. We call it the Amazing Maths Workbook. Okay, teachers that have completed this can attest to you that it's like a rebirth. Imagine, and think about this, when you were at school and you finished grade 12, what was your maths result? Let's say 60% or 70%. That's a 30% failure or a 40% failure. So 30 to 40% of the material that was covered, you didn't get right. When did you solve the problem of getting to 100% right? This helps you because it rehabilitates your whole maths language from the start to the end. So getting you to be from zero to hero, okay? We then give you a manual which helps you to utilize any type of dictionary effectively. You know, there's no course or anything like that on how to properly use a dictionary. And we found by survey that most teachers don't know how to use it, so therefore it's not a tool. Imagine if you could rehabilitate in any subject, any learner to pass, and you had the tool. And you can see it's not the thickest book in the world, so you don't need a degree, you don't need a truck to come and fetch it. It works perfectly, okay? And together with that, we give you a card which gives you the 10 steps to handling a word. So you can just put it next to you, check out, follow the steps, or you put it next to a learner and tell him just to follow the steps. And through that, conceptual understanding occurs and vocabulary increases. And then we give you a handout card as well, which gives all the phenomena of misunderstanding, and we train you on how to see them and how to resolve them immediately. And the same with lack of mass, which is lack of concept, okay? And then there's one more barrier, which is too steep a gradient, which we also covered too, and show you how to resolve that. What is the true and correct method of handling a child who's confused? We tend to naturally focus on the confusion. And we give you the exact methodology to focus on the correct point, and the confusion just goes. Okay. So that's the start of what you get. Okay. In addition to that, we have a whole support structure in place. It says here we have monthly online sessions. We want teachers to attend at least 3 of those, so that what you've got in the seminar and with the materials, you can now get additional help. You know, if you're saying, oh, I'm having a little problem putting this in, I'm having a little problem understanding that, you join the session. It's an interactive session, and then we help you resolve that, because our target is 100% duplication and ability to apply of our material. We don't believe in 90% or 50%. We believe in 100%. Okay, and we do get it. All right. So, and then of course, in the directly after the seminar, and you've got your materials, you've had the seminar, you get a final assessment, and we take you through that assessment to 100%. So when you first do it, maybe you got 60% or 70% correct, and a couple of little things erred. We direct you to where the exact material is and where possibly your misunderstanding or something not entirely clear, help you clear that up so you get it right. So you get 100% on that final assessment. Okay, that's our standard, 100%. Okay, and so the concept or the target we want is full conceptual understanding and certainty of all your maths language, so you are the best of the best. Okay, and that's phase 3. That's going through that workbook that I showed you a short while ago, Amazing Maths Words, as we call it. It was originally called Maths Terminology Workbook for Teachers, but it's just turned out to be the most amazing book when it comes to teachers' responses once they've been through it. So we call it the Amazing Maths Words. Okay. And then the next phase is most interesting. And here's an example. Middleburg High, the grade 8 head of maths teacher, implemented or went through the seminar, and then she went through all the phases. She got her SAY certificate. She's done her words. She's like been teaching maths for over 20 years, right? And she says, for the first time in her life, she can see that she doesn't have to have anybody struggling in her class. And with our coordination, she set up the My Maths Buddy Club for her learners. They meet once a week for 40 minutes. The parents have got them copies of the book, and we do that through the school, so the school gets the bulk buy, and we show them the process of clearing up all their words very quickly and very effectively. And you know that they only started 3 weeks before the final test and last term, first term of this year. 3 weeks before. The results for that group is the best in 4 years. Okay, that's just 3 weeks. Now imagine what's going to happen in the July exams. They're just continuing, their group is growing, they keep contacting us and saying, hey, we need more books, we want to get going. And so there you go. We have another 5 schools that we're setting up the My Maths Buddy clubs at, because they see that this is the way to get the standard of maths education up to something we can really be proud of. Okay. And then, of course, we constantly in contact with you. We do monthly newsletters so that you can see what's going on, little tips. We call them golden nuggets for educators. We research, we find things that you can use. We get tips and we get feedback and success stories and successful actions from other teachers so that you have everything you need from here on out to be the best of the best in terms of maths and your position as a maths educator. Okay, so we give you those tips and successful actions. We have a WhatsApp group, and a lot of that will go on there. And then there's that monthly support session that I mentioned. So every month there's that online support session. And like I said, we'd like you to do at least 3, but you can, if you're going to be teaching for the next 20 years, you can attend every session for the next 20 years. It's open-ended. You are then a member of the My Maths Buddy Club by completing the seminar. And this is open to you forever and a day. Okay. And obviously, the more you attend, the more skilled you become, the more competent you are at picking up these phenomena and handling them faster and faster. And thus, let's look at it. Let's dream about no struggling learners in your class and make that dream come true. And fast. All right. And then, of course, to make it even a little bit more of a game, from time to time, we're going to evaluate and call for the best improved teachers. We'll obviously coordinate with the principals of the schools to see which teacher got their classes from whatever level to a greater level. And then, of course, with the learners, we're not an Olympiad. So we're not looking for the 80%ers getting 85 and the top 5 in the class. We're looking for the kids who are making the most positive change. So if he went from 19% to 48%, that's huge. That requires some recognition and award. Okay, that's what we would be doing in terms of the support and the rewards that we're going to offer. You see how much there is in this, and this methodology can assist you to make such a huge difference in what you do, how you feel about your maths teaching. And basically, one of the things we deal with as a first point in the seminar is revitalizing your purpose and your passion. Remember when you started teaching, you had that, I'm going to make and change the world. Remember that? Now, some years later, you've been through the mill. No longer excited about turning up and going, hey, I've got this youngster in my class, he gets 10% for maths. I know by the end of the year, he's going to pass. Imagine if that's the way you felt now after doing this seminar. And you can do it. So just go down to the chat and you can see, I'm going to turn off the slide there now and look at the chat. Okay. Queen has put up if you want to join the seminar and book yourself in for the next online seminar, please do so. That's the first link there. And then if you want to get a quotation for your school or for yourself or for a multiple of teachers, like a number of schools that we've done where they take the whole maths contingent and they put them on a seminar. Other schools go, okay, I'm going to put the HOD and one other teacher on, and then later on we'll do the next group of teachers. That's up to you. But right now, what I'd like you to do is, if you want to do the seminar, and I know that you probably do, go to there and click on booking in yourself onto the next online seminar. We will obviously give you all the information when it is, and we have them regularly. So if the next one is, you've also got a wedding on or you're doing something else, then you can attend the following one. And we will make sure that you have everything you need for attending these, all the information Okay. And then if you are, like I said, if you're a principal or an HOD and you want to get this better for your school, or, you know, maybe two of you want to do it together, then just go to the second link, and that's for getting a quotation. So that will provide you with what you need. I know a lot of schools need to go to SGBs, and that'll give you the information. And then also, when you do that, you can also drop us a note and say, please, you know, just send in, if you're going to the SGB, you need the quote, and possibly you need a little bit of info, and we can provide you with that bit of info. But you can certainly get it off the, there's plenty of information on the website concerning the seminar. But if you need anything more, you just get in touch with us. I mean, we'll be in touch with you anyway to make sure that we can service you the best way we can and give you that wow factor. Imagine going, wow, I'm really excited about being a maths teacher. I can change the world. Remember that feeling way back then after teacher training? Imagine you got it back. And we can help you to do that. Because as I've covered, this methodology can rehabilitate anybody, regardless of where they're at mathematically, and bring them up to winning with mathematics. And for you as a teacher to have that in the palm of your hands, that is worth, it's priceless. It's worth a ton of gold, okay? Because imagine when you've got that, how many learners can you help to achieve their dreams? Because that's what they have when they start out in school. They have this dream to become, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a scientist. And what happens is the dream gets a little dented, and eventually they laugh at their dreams and they drop them because they haven't been able to get through schools with the standard of mathematics required to become a scientist or a doctor, and they don't know why. And the first person they blame is themselves. They say, I'm not good at maths. I'm not good at this thing. And it's not true. Okay? And for you as a teacher, having that tool in your hand and taking that youngster and turning his future around, how will it make you feel when you do that? Amazing. Okay. So you get the seminar, you get the kit, and all the component parts of that kit. You get your SACE accreditation. You get the follow-up newsletters and tips and everything like that. You get the online support, and that whole package is 2,670. Okay. But think about this. It's once. It's like you bought a car or you bought a bicycle. You don't have to keep buying the bicycle over and over and over and over and over and over. It's once. And you've got it. And when you've been through it, you will have it for the rest of your life. You could then apply it for mathematics, which is our focus. If you start teaching science, you can utilize the same methodology. In fact, you can use it on your kids at home. Okay? So it's a universal methodology, but we focus it in on achieving the results in maths. Okay, I just want to take a look at the chat. Dorothy, too many instructions, I am lost. I'm not sure. Do you want to just tell me where you feel a little lost there? All right. Dorothy, if you're still there, if you just tell me what it is, that, if you have a question, just give me a direction there. Does the program include, here we go. Does the program include foundation phase? I'm asking because in foundation phase, maths is taught in mother tongue. Okay. The book itself, the My Maths Buddy, okay, starts at grade 3, but grade 3, and of course it's also in Afrikaans. We don't have it in the vernacular, okay? But they're going to learn maths in English from grade 4 onwards, right? They have to flip. So if you're in foundation phase, what it would do for you as a teacher is give you the methodology you can use on the learners in Setswana, okay? You may need to translate for them. They won't use the book. In foundation phase, you wouldn't use the book with the kids. I mean, the book is probably heavier than the child. Okay, but for you as the teacher, what you can do there is become proficient at spotting all the misunderstandings, all the lack of concept, and be able to handle it there. That's an amazing place to start. Imagine if your kids at that age are able to know and handle how to know they don't understand, or how to know they don't know what a concept is, or how to perceive it correctly. So sure, yes. And you would be setting up those kids very well in their ability to handle misunderstanding. That makes sense to you? Okay. Okay, Dorothy, you said, I'm fine. I was lost when you gave instructions regarding the house. Okay, that was just a little drill, just to get you to picture words. And then obviously you got lost on the dub, right? And the dub being an old word for a pond or a fish pond, and then your picture came back. Okay, that was just to give an indication of the power of words and how it can stop you thinking without you realizing you heard a word you didn't understand. Because we don't know most of the time. We think we know. And it's only when we get to have to deal or utilize that information, which has got call it a hole in it from a misunderstood word, and then we can't think. We kind of go, you know? Yeah, so there you go. Okay. All right. So again, we'd love to have you attend. So please go to that first link. And if you're a teacher and you really want to do this, please go to the link, which Math Skills for Teachers, okay? And then if you're a principal or an HOD and you want to have your school approached and work with this program, either online or on site, and you need a quotation for that, just go to Maths Teachers, the second link, okay? And you'll be able to pick up that form and then just fill in the form. It'll come through, you press, send, and it'll come through to us. We will provide you with a quote, and then we can take it from there. And then you can decide how many teachers you're going to put on and that sort of thing. Okay. So any other people have any other questions, or you've got anything you'd like to chat about? Is there anything I covered that wasn't entirely clear? Just let me know. Okay. On the chat. Here's an interesting thing. I did 3 schools, Middleburg in Mpumalanga. I did 3 schools there as a joint thing, because that's another thing you can do is if you as a school have sister schools that you work with and you want to rather do something together with them, then get in touch with us, because we've done that sort of activity in Rustenburg. I did last week, I did a seminar to 5 schools in the same cluster or district, and it was done at one school, and all the teachers turned up for that seminar. So these things can be done. I've got another one in Rustenburg, funny enough, next week on Tuesday. And of course on the online, it's wherever you are, you'll be able to join and you'll get exactly the same training, and we will send you your kit and we will be in touch with you. You're part of the My Maths Buddy Club. As I said, our purpose is to completely change the aspect and the understanding of mathematics. Imagine if you could turn around those kids in your class in a matter of a few weeks, and the results started going up, like I said just now, 10, 12, 15% on a regular basis. Imagine if your school all of a sudden became such a better performer. Here's an example. Furentu High School, which is down in Rossmore, near Auckland Park, where the SABC is. They just started with us. The grade 12s are into the book. We're now putting the grade 11s on, but we did all the teachers first. And there's a couple of other schools around them that are going, hey, we want this. And they've put a couple of their teachers onto the seminar. We're now looking at doing another seminar down there. We're looking at all those schools getting their My Maths Buddy clubs for learners going. Why? Because we get results. We get them so fast, sometimes people kind of go, nah, it can't be real. It can't be real. Maths must be difficult. Okay? And it isn't. Because maths is a language. And if you understand the vocabulary of the language, you're able to articulate the language. You see that? This is where we give you the tools for you so that you can use them to really go ahead and make something happen. So if you're a teacher, you want to get onto this, book yourself now, go onto that link, get yourself booked in, do it now, and we will get you onto the next seminar. We'll be in touch with you straight away. If you're a HOD or a principal or a deputy principal or an academic head or academic director, and you're here and you go, hey, maybe this can make a change for my school, just get a quote. Okay, find out what it's going to, the investment is, and then we'll get in touch with you and we can work out the detail with you, whether you're going to do it online or whether you want to do it at the school or whether you want to do it in a joint school seminar. We work all of that detail out, but take action now. Remember, if you don't take action now, it always lives in regret. And regret is a horrible place to be. Because remember, I guess most of you who've been teaching maths for some time or have been involved in education for some time, okay? This is, call it the Rubicon. So you can take action now or carry on sitting on the couch. Okay, so I suggest take action now. I see a thing, I've completed the link for quotation. When will I get the quotation? You'll get the quotation either in the next 24 to 48 hours, okay? Because we generally from these webinars get quite a lot of response, in fact, quite a lot of response. We've got to generate all those quotations. They're not hard to generate, but we'll get it back to you ASAP. In other words, as fast as possible. So probably during the course of tomorrow, you'll have your quotation, if not even tonight, okay? So we work rapidly, okay? And for those of you who sign up to book yourself in for the next seminar, within the next 24 hours, you'll be notified of all the detail and when it is, and give you an option if the first seminar you can't attend, the next seminar is on blah, blah date, okay? And all of that will be sorted out for you. And then if you need any other information, just drop us a line, drop us an email. You know, the contact details are on the website as well, the My Maths Buddy website, where the links are directing you to, and we will certainly answer any questions you have or assist you in any way possible, because we want to make this country proud of its maths standard. We can do that if we give and start with you, the maths teacher, being able to provide a methodology and use a methodology that works and gets results. And like I said right in the beginning, statistically audited figures, we know we can do that. We have the proof that we do that. And we have the proof that put this into the hands of a teacher, it makes her 1,000 times better than she's ever been before, or he has been before, in terms of articulating and getting duplication and application of mathematics. So, for those of you not quite sure yet, this is an opportunity for you to change that whole perspective, to see how you can become excited and passionate. Remember that, excited and passionate about turning up to give a maths class to a bunch of learners that eventually, you know, in a very short space of time, will be with you 100% on the program and working towards succeeding with mathematics. And for you as principals and HODs, think about this. As an HOD, you want your team to succeed. And obviously the team succeeding means the kids succeed. So we can help you do that. We know that it works. For principals, again, you want to be the best, right, in the area. We have the best maths results in our cluster, or we have the best maths results in our district. Olga Maja is the principal at Sekelglong Primary. She says that to me every time I talk to her. She says, we still have the best results in our cluster. And nobody seems to be able to beat her. Why? Because she has got the whole program in constantly. Bang, 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 bang. So they don't have kids who fail. And when somebody drops below 50% in that school, because they started in at grade 5, when somebody drops below 50% of that school, they go, pull them in, let's find out what they misunderstood. Okay, no consideration about are they good at maths or not. They are. It says, what did they understand? Let's get it straightened out, bang, put it back in. Okay, so we can do that with any school, anybody here. So take the chance now, take the opportunity now, sign yourself up for the course. Sign yourself up and book in for the next seminar, okay? And for those of you who need quotes, go to the link now. And, if you're a principal and you've got 6 teachers, just put their quote for 6 teachers needed. If you're an HOD and you've got a smaller team, maybe it's you and 4 others, and go 5 teachers. If you're a small private school or a smaller school from a rural area and you want to get onto this program, then just click on there and go, okay, we want a quote for 3 teachers or 2 teachers. All right? Do it now. You will never regret it. There's one thing about taking the solution to a problem when you see it versus looking at it and saying, well, maybe I've got something else to do. Okay, so do yourself a favor. Grab the solution. We will help you implement it from here on out through the seminar, the teacher kit you get, the accreditation assessment to get you fully accredited, the online support, the online contact, the regular newsletters, everything that you need to succeed, and then to help you to set up, to have your learners get them blown away with what they can do mathematically in terms of their success. All right. And then again, for the schools, this is an opportunity now to change the condition. We can change it before the July exams. We can definitely change it before I think it's October and the December exam. We can definitely change it before then. But we can you get going now, we can change this condition for you before the July exams. Okay, so let's get on. Those of you who haven't yet gone to one of the links, please do so now. Book yourself in or ask us for a quote. Okay. I had a school, just by the way, just thought of it now. There's a place in the Free State called Koffiefontein. And we've actually worked with all the schools in Koffiefontein and a town just below there called Lucknow. I mean, you've probably never heard of them, most of you, but they are, there's a fair amount of people in those towns. They're not generally the place you're going to go for Christmas holiday, but they're there, and there's a lot of good people there and a lot of kids who need help. And we worked with a school down there called Reykjavik. And Reykjavik, the results from the time we first started there and workshopped the teachers and started helping the kids, the results went from a 26% pass rate within a term. Now listen to this, 26% pass rate to 86% pass rate. And we know from one of the ladies down there, she said, hey, the department in Bloemfontein sent an inspector to come and find out how we cheated. Nevertheless, they found out they didn't cheat. But look at that, 26% to 86. But like I said right in the beginning, the average increase we get with schools we work with is a 14% increase. So of course we're talking an average. So some are going to be higher and some are going to be lower. But every school that we implement this program into has improved their maths results. And I also made that comment earlier when I said that in all the time I worked in this, every learner I've ever come across who applied this book improved their maths results. Okay, there's no great big degree needed or heavy extra study or additional work needed. It slips into what you're doing. Once you've got it, you understand it, you slip it in, and then all of a sudden you find what you're doing accelerates with understanding. It means you don't have to repeat the same lesson today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and hope that the kids have got it. You can see when they don't, and you can have the solution at your fingertips for fixing that, so that you don't have to repeat and repeat and repeat. When they've got it, they've got it. Okay, so take this opportunity now. Go to that first link, sign yourself up, book yourself in. You will never regret it. It'll be the best investment you've ever made in your teaching profession, because it's not just mathematics. We focus on mathematics. It's everything. It's your whole life, putting this methodology in. But obviously we focused on the education side of it. So when you're teaching maths, you'll be so much more effective at getting the results you need. When you go next door and you're going to do a science class, you'll be so much more effective at getting the results you need. If you're doing the English class, same thing. Then you come home and you have to interact with your kids. Man, what a pleasure to have the answers to helping your kids. Okay, so go ahead, book yourself in now. It's an investment that will pay dividends like you won't believe. It's like buying a pot of gold for 50 cents. Okay. Then for the principals and HODs who want to have a number of teachers attend, please go ahead, sign yourself up there. Just go to the form on the quotation. We will send you the quotation as soon as that is ready. Okay, and like I said to the lady who asked, it will be in the next 24 hours, max 48 hours, just depends on the load. Do we have specific days for our seminars for newcomers? We generally do seminars on a Friday afternoon. Okay, I know we don't have one next week, but it's probably the week after. Okay, that's from Motherwell. Does that answer your question? So specific days, we do Friday afternoons. And the reason why we do Friday afternoons is because we surveyed a whole lot of teachers to say, when is the best time to do that? And a lot of teachers have activities that they need to deal with during the week. Friday afternoons obviously is a time that there are other activities, but that's generally the best. Where we would get a number of teachers who can't make the Friday afternoon, we'll make a plan. We'll make a plan. But basically it's a Friday afternoon, 2:30, normally 2:30 to 4:30. Okay. And Motherwell, you asked another question. Are you the same as Master Maths? Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. Master Maths deals with content and on computer games and things like that. We are not involved in tutoring. We are not involved in any side of the content of mathematics, as is generally the repetition of what you as a teacher are doing at school. We're involved in the understanding of mathematics. Okay, so we're not Master Maths, we're not Kumon, we're not involved in any of those groups. In fact, a number of those groups come to us to get our materials to help them get results. Okay, so we know we're at the forefront. We know we're at the beginning of where understanding begins. All right, does that answer you? You fine with that answer? And then, of course, with Master Maths, you're talking about paying, and I'm not picking on Master Maths here particularly, you just, you asked about it. Any tutoring system, any franchise maths, after maths, is a monthly expense. This is once. Okay, it's a once-off thing, and you got it for the rest of your life. Okay, pleasure, Motherwell. Anybody else have any questions or need any answers or anything like that? Okay. I'm just going to look at the final moment. Completed the link. Okay. All right. Anybody else who wants to let us know that they're going to be joining us? There's a couple of people here who have said, yes, we definitely want to come and join you. We want to be on this amazing maths program. We've got a couple of requests for quotes already, quite a few requests for quotes. So take your chance now. Remember, a quote is a quote, and then we will negotiate how we do it and where and all that sort of thing with you. But at least you'll know what it is and what is needed for it. Okay. And then, like I said, this is your Rubicon. If you felt in the last few years a little despondent about the standard of maths that was happening at your school or in your class, and the number of kids who ended up going to maths literacy, or the number of kids who just don't get it, this is the solution to the I didn't get it. This is the solution to show them how to get it. How is it going to make you feel as a math teacher when that kid who's been struggling, whether he's a grade 6 or a grade 8 or a grade 10 or a grade 11, or whatever level he's at, he's been struggling and you haven't really had a solution for him. Now you take him aside, or you have somebody else take him aside, you just direct it. You get the My Maths Buddy Club set up and you do it through that system. Or you can just say, you take him aside and you clear up some of these words that he didn't understand from the start. And all of a sudden he goes, I can think with mathematics. Hey, maybe I can do mathematics. Maybe I'm not so bad after all. And all of a sudden his marks start to go up. His interest in you as the teacher starts to be improved. His attention in class increases. And all of a sudden, one day you're standing in front of the class and you ask the class a question, and the last person you expect to put up his hand and say, yes, ma'am, I can answer the question, is this guy who was the lost cause just a few weeks ago. And I'm telling you that what happens, we know the stories. I'm not giving you something I just made up. That's feedback we've received. Okay? So we can make it happen for you. So go ahead, go onto the link, book yourself into the seminar, or get your quotation. So let's do that now, and we'll be in touch with you, because you will never regret this decision. It will never, ever be a negative for you. All it's going to do is help you to grow and prosper as a teacher, as a principal, as a school, and as an individual. Because this is a methodology that is universal and can make a super change in your life you didn't believe possible until 2:30 this afternoon. So please go ahead, do that, and let's see how many of you can join the next online session, and also how many quotes we need to get through to you in the next 24 hours so that we can bring you the solution to the problems that you've been having with maths. All right. Okay, anybody else have any comments or feedback or realizations? Did you realize something during this session that you kind of had an idea about, but you weren't sure about, you know? But let us know. I would really like to have some interaction here from you. If you've got some questions about the process, questions about ourselves, anything you'd like to ask, please go ahead. Let us know. You just go down, you see the chat there where it says chat. Oops, where's my finger going? There it says chat. Okay, just click on there and then type in your chat. You can also go to a Q&A where it's question and answer, and you can type in your question there. Oops, you're covering my face. The question there, and it'll give me the opportunity to read the question and respond to you. Okay, so either the Q&A or the chat. Okay. And remember, we are the makers of the future. The VIPs in society are not who you see on TV. They are made by the VIPs. The VIPs are the teachers. Because without you, who knows what? They know what because you helped them to get there. And so the great professors and the politician leaders and the business executives and the entrepreneurs got there because at some point in their life, they were there in front of you and you gave them what they needed to get there. We just need to help those who didn't get there because during that process, something crashed and burned, an overload of misunderstandings. And so their inability to think caused them to be a little dumbed down. And because of that, they weren't able to achieve their dreams. How many kids do you know, for the number of years you've been in teaching, where they would maybe say to you, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a scientist, I want to be this, I want to be that. And a few years later, you see them hanging out on the side of the street, hey, you know, and they're taking drugs, and they're not really doing anything. They don't turn up for school, and you go, how did that change from there to there? They took losses. They didn't believe they were capable of learning because they stopped in the ability to think clearly. And when that happens, people don't want to be in a place they can't understand. Kids don't want to be in a class that makes them feel stupid or makes them feel dumb. When they go, you know, and when they do badly, when they get 5 or 10 or 15% for a test or an exam, they don't want to be there. Okay? But that is only a symptom of the cause of the problem, and the cause being the words of mathematics are not understood. But they think they know. Because think about this, if I had not given you the answer to the dub drill earlier on, the dub practical, told you what a dub was, dub being a pond or a fish pond. And I said, okay, fine, let's join each other tomorrow. And I'll come and talk to you again. And I go, dub. Okay, and you'll go, oh. And then the next day we do it again, and I go, dub. Okay, and you go, oh, I've heard that before. And then eventually after 5 or 6 days, you go, I've heard that many times before, I must know it. Okay? But every time you hear it, you believe you know it, but you don't. And every time you hear it, you cannot think with it. So multiply that, word after word after word after word, that I think I know but don't. I can't think with. Therefore, you add all of those little can't think together. And so now you look at the youngster and he looks at you and he goes, because he can't think. You say to him, come on, Johnny, surely you should know the answer to that. And he goes, okay. And so we go, oh, he's not that intelligent. It's not true. The only thing that causes him to behave like that is the inability to think because he doesn't have the vocabulary. So we give him the vocabulary, we change the condition, we make him use his intelligence because he's got it. He's just not using it because he can't reach it, because he can't think. The words have stopped him. Imagine having the power to help youngsters break that chain. We give it to you. So for those of you still thinking about it, do it now. Go to the link, book yourself in, and make history for yourself and make that change for yourself. For those of you who want to do it as a multiple for the school, go and get that quote now, and then you will see an incredible difference in maths education in your school. I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. Okay. This works. It works every time it's applied. You know, it's like if you stood at the edge of a cliff and you jumped off, guess what would happen? You would fall. Okay, there's no question about that. You're not a bird, you can't fly. Okay, it's kind of not really the greatest example I can give, but you start on this track, you will succeed. See, because it's the same thing. You take the step and you're there. Okay, it's just not falling down, it's building up. And you're building up your ability. Because think about this, a child who gets 60% in maths, he failed 40%. Why don't we focus on the 40% failure and fix that? Okay. Imagine getting onto an aircraft. You want to fly to London. Okay, you're going to fly to London. Pilot comes on. He says, "Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to flight 786 to London. I'm your new pilot, Joe Schmo, and I've just passed my pilot exam. I got 60%. Unfortunately, the section I didn't pass was how to properly land." Do you think anybody's going to stay in the plane? No. What about you've got a little something, you need to go to a neurologist. They're going to just and check it out and everything. And you get to the neurologist. He says, "Hey, I'm a new neurologist, and I got 70% in my exam. The section I failed is just how to stitch back up." You'd run out of the door. So why don't we target 100% competency and effectiveness in mathematics for you as a teacher first? We can give that to you. We give it to you fast and efficiently without any super extra late night studies or anything like that. It fits into everything you're doing. So again, I say, go to the link, book yourself into the seminar. You will never, ever regret it. It will be the best investment you've made in yourself for a very long time. And for those at the schools, the principals and HODs, this is your opportunity to take this methodology, apply it in your school, and see the results. And believe me, you will see the results. Okay? And like I said, we work with you all the way through it. The seminar, the accreditation, the My Maths Buddy Club formation, the online support, and the communication thereon. The whole thing is built to make sure that we create in this country the standard of mathematics we can be proud of. Because right now we're not proud of what we've got. So let's change that. Let's start with you. Imagine how many, once you've got this under your belt, imagine how many kids over the next few years you can help to achieve their dreams, to achieve the future they want to have, and to create for that community a better economic environment and setup than it's ever had before. Just bit by bit by bit, We can do that. We can do it with you and many other teachers that are going to join this program. So take the opportunity now, register yourself, go onto that link if you want to get on right now. We're looking forward to seeing you. We're looking forward to giving you all of this fantastic stuff. We're looking forward to giving you this whole kit of information and books and materials and online support and everything that I've covered. And for schools, exactly the same thing. All of that will be provided to you, and you'll never regret that investment. I've been to a number of schools where they say, yes, we invested in this maths thing and this maths thing and this maths thing. It's cost us a lot of money, and nothing's changed. Okay? Invest in this, and I know I can give you references where it's changed. And it's changed faster than most people realize it can, because we deal with the very core of what the problem is. And the problem is, I fail to understand very well, therefore I think it's difficult and I can't pass it very well. Okay? So we get it to understand something very well, you cannot fail at it. Okay? So again, my message is, go to the link, click on there, book yourself into the seminar. You will never regret it. It will change your life. It will rehabilitate your purpose and your passion. Because that's why you originally came into teaching, right? You had a passion for helping others. And then those losses you have when you tried to help somebody and it didn't happen, and you didn't have a solution for this and you didn't have a solution for that. Here's a solution that covers most of what you've run into. So go ahead, click on the link, book yourself in, press send, and we will see you at the next seminar. And for those who want the quotes, please go to the link, fill in the form, give us the information. We will be in touch with you very quickly. And we will obviously help you to work out how you want to do it, how many people you want on, when you want to do it, all of the logistics that are required to work that out and get you set up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. All right. So anybody else got anything that they want to comment on, or any suggestions or anything like that? I'm standing by. I see there's a couple of... Yeah. Here's a question. That's, would you be able to do on-site seminars in and around the Johannesburg area? Interesting question. We do on-site seminars generally to the area. I mean, I do Rustenburg. Rustenburg is not Johannesburg area. And at least 2 hours within the circumference of Johannesburg quite easily. If it's an on-site seminar, let's say I've got one that we're working with, which is in Pietermaritzburg, okay, where it's outside Gauteng. We obviously have to have a certain number of teachers there to make it viable for us to drive all the way down with all material, book ourselves into a guest house and do the seminar and handle all of that. Okay, so that school is now talking to a sister school to get at least 3 or 4 of their teachers. So we have a good contingent of teachers, and it becomes viable for us to travel that distance to go and do that seminar. Okay, so yeah, if you're in Cape Town or you're in wherever you are in South Africa, the only restriction on the on-site would be just the numbers, the further away from Johannesburg you are, just from a viability point of view. You understand it? I mean, I think it's pretty clear. But it's very easy to join the online seminars. The online seminars are great fun. We've had tremendous feedback from them. So that's the best option for if you want to get going fast. But like I say, we cater on both sides, online and on-site. Okay, but go ahead now, fill in your quote request, fill in the form, press the send button so that we get it, and then we will get back to you with the quote and any other information you need and all the details or logistics that need to take place. And for those of you who want to get on the seminar now and get through the program and rehabilitate your purpose and rehabilitate your passion and get the tools that are going to make the change that you've always wanted to make with that one learner or that group of learners, and just couldn't, it just passed my fingers. Now you have it you can have it in your hands, and you can go, hey, this young guy, I failed to help, and he ended up doing worse and worse and worse. I just pull him aside, work out the program for him, show him what to do, bang, there he is. And of course, like I said, there's a process. There's the My Maths Buddy Club formation, which we help you with. So if you're at a school, and let's say you've got in your grade, let's say you've got 200-300 kids, okay, you can go and approach the parents if it's affordability area, or the school where you have tight economic conditions, and we work something out. We work something out with you, because our objective is to help every learner in this country and every maths teacher in this country. That's our objective, to become the best we can be and the best of the best. Imagine beating Singapore, which is supposed to be so good at maths. Imagine beating Singapore at the standard of maths, or Malaysia, or the other ones of Norway, or South Korea. Imagine being above them on the international scale of best performing schools in the world, or best performing areas in the world, countries in the world. We can do that. Maybe that'll take a little bit more time, but let's start with you. Let's start with your school and your learners, and let's make this happen. So go and book yourself in. Let's get it going. It's not a huge amount of money, 2670, not a huge amount of money. It's once off. You're getting all that benefit. Like I say, it's a ton of gold you're getting for that investment, and it's an investment in yourself, okay, and your future, and your ability to change the future of hundreds of kids for the better. And then for those who are wanting to do the quotation, just go ahead. You don't really have anything to lose. Just go and say, okay, great. We're a school, we have 14 maths teachers. Press the button, fill in the detail. Okay, 14 maths teachers will send you the quote. Okay. If you decide once you've got the quote, hey, no, maybe we'll do the first 7, and then in the next term we'll do the next 7, then let's do it that way. It's a flexible thing. We're here to service you. We're here to help you change the condition of mathematics into the future stably and consistently, so you get rapid and significant results change. Okay. By the way, we had 2 young ladies. One was at I think it was a Sparrow Orphanage School in the south of Joburg. I don't recall the school where the other one was at, but both grade 10s, and their maths results at the beginning of grade 10, or I think maybe they were July exams, were both under 30%. They came on the program. Believe it or not, they passed grade 12. I don't remember what their exact marks were, but they were both over 60%. Both those young ladies are at medical school right now. Would they have made it? But because they got on this program, they're going to be doctors. Okay. That's powerful. That's powerful. Like I said, I could sit here all day and just tell you stories about the kids that I've run into. The chap, Josh from Springs, 19%. First term, grade 9. That's a test. That's not even an external exam. 19%. Okay. It took 2 weeks to take him through the basic process of the book. 47% July exams. He never dropped below 50% from there on until he finished grade 12 in 2019 with 62%. He was at the very point of saying, no more maths for me, I want maths literacy. Okay. He was persuaded by his dad, a civil engineer, to say, no, my son, you're going to take this last step. I'm not letting you go to maths literacy. How can I stand around a braai with my fellow civil engineers when my son can't do mathematics? And he insisted his son got on the program. We were only with him for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 14 minutes a day, and not including Saturday and Sunday. 47% at the end of the term, the July exams. And then nothing from there on out, below 50% until he finished grade 12 or 62. That is just one of the many, 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 many examples we have of kids who they're just not making it. They can't get it. Oh my goodness, that's what it is. I can do it. And they do. Okay, so not everybody makes 88% like Given or 76% like Tupelo, but they can make it. They can make it. And if they make it, they help everybody else in their immediate community make it. Okay, because we live in a community. We live in families. We live in groups. And the more we help each other, the better our whole society becomes. All right. So if you haven't yet decided, do it now. Go and sign yourself up for this seminar. It's a small investment for what you're going to get and what's going to change in your lives and your ability and your own happiness at being a teacher, your own passion, your own purpose. So sign yourself up now if you haven't yet done so. And then for those of you who need the quotes, go onto the second link and get the quote now. We will get back to you very quickly and get everything sorted out for you so that you can move ahead or your school can move ahead. This is an opportunity for you to do it. Let's go ahead. Let's make history. Let's change the condition and change your feeling about teaching maths. I mean, let's face it, I can't see you right now, but you can, you with you. How do you feel right now about how maths has been going this year so far? Not so nice, right? Lots of stress, lots of disappointment. Let's change that right now. Sign yourself up, book in for the seminar, and I can bet you my life on it. It will change for you from the time you start the seminar forevermore. Because it will give you the methodology and the ability to move ahead with confidence and with understanding. And remember, if you understand something really well, you cannot fail at it. You get that. You cannot fail at it. So what we want to do is get your understanding 100%. That means you cannot fail at teaching mathematics because that's what it is for you. Okay? Now take the next step. What about the learners? If you can get them to understand it very, very well, they cannot fail at it. It's kind of brash, isn't it? But isn't it time we got a little brash? Aren't we sick and tired of this terrible standard of mathematics that we have? So let's change it. Let's do something about it right now. So go there, hit the link, book yourself in. Let's make it happen. You're going to make it happen. I will help you all the way to make it happen. And me and my team, Busi, and all the rest of the team that are at the My Maths Buddy project will help you to make it happen. Okay. And if you're a school, your principal's still there with me, we can help your school to make it happen. We can help your school to change the condition entirely with mathematics. I'm serious. We can do that. We know we can. We've done it before. We've done it often enough that I can sit here and confidently say, you know who I am. I'm Paul Sondergaard from My Maths Buddy. You can look me up on the internet. You can find lots of things about me. You can hunt me down and you can say, hey, Paul, you told me. And I'll say, absolutely, I told you. And if you do it, it will work. 100% of the time, it will work. So go ahead and take something that's workable and will change the condition and make the results that you're looking for and be part of it. So you want to get into booking yourself on the seminar, do so now. If you want to get your quote, go ahead, press the link, fill in the form, and let's get you that quote so we can move you ahead and make history for you, change the condition for you. All right. Anybody have any other comments at this stage? Anybody got something to say? I see that we still have a few people there, which is great. So again, this is the solution to your problem. If you're a grade 8 teacher, I know survey-wise, the biggest complaint is the foundation is not in or the basics are not in. Okay. How do you get them in fast? You know, we did a project where we took 22 learners between grade 4 and grade 11, and we ran them on this project on utilizing the My Maths Buddy and the process that we show the teachers on how to do it, okay? And it took about a week for the primary school. Remember, this is more clinical. It took about a week for the primary school, junior high, about 2 weeks, and the senior FET phase, 3 weeks. Okay, that's just because of volume of words. 40 minutes a day, no weekends. 21% average increase for that whole group in one term. So if they're all around 30%, you can see that the majority of them passed maths the next term over 50%. That's great. That's what we can do. So in the same sense, you know, we can give you that. We give you the methodology and the way to do that. And then what you do is you can then just apply it. Now, obviously, I mentioned that was more of a clinical thing because we did bam, 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 bam. You might take a little longer because, you know, there's soccer practice and there's this and there's that and there's all the different things going on and hybrid learning at the moment and everything we've got to deal with. So it might take a term. If you could rehabilitate all the kids in your class in terms of their full understanding and ability to apply everything they learned from the beginning to grade 7, and now you have them in grade 8, how would that change things for you as a grade 8 teacher? Think about it. It would make your day, wouldn't it? So if you've not yet made up your mind, go there, click on the link, book yourself into the seminar. Let's see you then at the next online seminar. If you want the quote, if you want the multiple teacher quotation for your school or for your area, go on to the other link, click on, get your quotation, fill out the form, send it to us. We will then send you the quote and be in touch with you and give you whatever information you need so that you can actually achieve what you want to have done mathematically for your school. All right. So anybody else have any other questions or anything like that at this point? There's a question there. I just see, no, I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professor. I'm an ordinary citizen. And I've been told this by an actual deputy director of curriculum development. I can't unfortunately mention his name. Of curriculum development in the Department of Education. He said, you know why your program works so well and your book works so well? He says, because you're not a teacher. So you look at it from outside and you say, how can I help that group? And because you have that external point of view, it has become so much more effective. Now when I say I mean my team, our team. None of us are teachers. None of us are, professors of university or anything. So we don't have the experience inside. We are looking at it from outside in. And because we're able to do that, we're able to see very specifically. I have a lot of history and experience in demographics and that sort of investigation studies and things like that. So I was able to look at, when we developed the My Maths Buddy, I looked at and studied 36 different maths dictionaries I found online and around the world, hard copy, etc. You know what I concluded? Not a single one is a maths dictionary. Why? They don't comply with the definition of a dictionary and the definition of a definition. They're glossaries. Glossary comes from the same etymology, which is the origin of the word, as gloss over. So if you gloss over something, you don't take it in. You just get temporary relief. So if you want to know how many maths dictionaries officially, by definition, exist in the world, one, My Maths Buddy. This is, by definition, and by research and investigation, the only maths dictionary in the world that gives you full conceptual understanding of every term of mathematics you need to have and complies completely and utterly with a definition of a dictionary and a definition of a definition. None of the others do. Ain't that an interesting thing? But that's why it works. That's why it works every time, because it addresses exactly what the thing is that needs to be addressed. So, if you're still there, and I see there's still a few people there, go now, book yourself in. Let's see you on the online seminar and give you these tools and give you this ability to make history and to change the futures of your learners and to help them to achieve their dreams. If you're still there, you're a principal or an HOD, go to the second link, go and register, go and fill in the form and get your quotation for the number of teachers you want to look at as a first step to implementing this in your school. So let's go ahead and do all that right now while you've got the opportunity. Remember, it's like the Rubicon. You either cross it or you don't. And I don't want you to live in regret. I want you to live in happiness and success and go, yeah, I took charge of that. I made it happen. I decided this was going to be what I'm going to do. I'm going to rehabilitate my purpose and passion of being a maths teacher or teacher. And I'm going to do it because I'm going to learn the exact methodology that helps to handle the struggling learner and get him to succeed. And it's right here at your fingertips. So I will be finishing off fairly soon, but last time before we go to the link, click on the link, book yourself into the seminar. We'll see you at the next seminar. We'll obviously advise you on the date, and then we'll make sure that you're able to make it. And if you're not able to make it, we'll then set up the alternate date for you to make it. Okay. So we will look after you. We will make sure you get everything that you need to be the best you can be. And then if you are a principal or an HOD or an academic director or a deputy principal, then go to the second link, get your quotation, fill out the form, give us your information. We will get back to you and we will help you to make your school the best it can be mathematically. All right. Those are quite some strong words that I've used. I say them with confidence and with the knowledge that wherever we've stepped, we have improved the standard of mathematics and the results that have been obtained. One for one, no exceptions. It's the same as anything. If I gave you a Mercedes-Benz and you never drove it, it would be worthless. If I gave you a Mercedes-Benz and you put the key in the ignition and you drove it, it would be worth something, right? So it's, again, I can give you this book, you can put it on the mantelpiece at home, or you can put it on the shelf, and it's worthless. It's in the ability to know and understand the power of it. And we give you that power, and we show you how to use it, and we show you what results you can get, and we give you the method to do that. So again, please, those people who are still with me, go to the link, book yourself into the seminar. Let's see you, and let's make that change, and let's bring you the passion and purpose that you're looking for. And then for those who are HODs and principals, or academic directors, etc., go and get your quote now. Let's make it happen. All right. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll end the session. Okay, we'll end the webinar. Okay. So take your opportunity now. Go and click on the link. Book yourself into the seminar. It will be the best thing you've done in donkey's years. If you're a school or you're representing a school, get yourself your quote, click that second link, go and get your quote, and you will find it's the best thing you've ever done for your school. Because isn't it about time we stop battling with maths? Isn't it about time we started getting, hey, we're the best? It's time, right? That's why you turned up today. Because in the back of your mind, you knew it's time to change this. It's time to stop this struggle. It's time to get onto a way of doing mathematics that actually gets me the results, that helps my kids in my class actually smile at me when I come in for maths. And when I'm finished with the exam marking and they look up at me and they say, hey, teacher, I got 78%. Instead of, I got 32% again. Makes a difference, right? So do yourself a favor, go and book yourself in for the seminar on the first link. You'll never regret it. It's the best investment in you can make. And secondly, if you are representing a school, go and get the quote now so that we can help you and we can provide for you the best methodology available to improve the standard of your maths, to improve the results that you're achieving, and to bring those kids that attend your school up to par with the standard of maths we would be proud of. And get rid of struggling kids. Why do we have to have kids struggling with maths? Let's not have kids struggle with maths. Let's sort them out. Let's help them to resolve that problem. We have the solution. We're giving it to you through the seminar. So again, go on the link, click the link. You will see there's a bit of information there. Go and book yourself in for the seminar right now. You will not regret it. It will be the best move you made in a long, long time. So yeah, there you go. Go ahead, do it. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the seminar, providing you the full seminar, the teacher kit, the support, and the whole bang shooting works that we give you to make sure you become the best you can be. Then for the school representatives, please go ahead, fill in the quote form at the second link, and let's sort it out. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Okay. Any other questions or anything you want to ask? I'm sitting here at your service, whatever you need. All right. Okay, I'm going to give it about another minute, and then I'm going to sign off. And we look forward to contacting all those people who booked in. I see there's quite a few, and contacting all those people who've requested a quote. So fantastic. And thank you for being here. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. You more than welcome to contact me via the website. Any questions, any information you need, you just drop a line to our info@mymathsbuddy.co.za. I will get back to you. My purpose is to change the condition of mathematics and bring you the passion and the purpose that you really want, and because you get results, and to change the condition so we are proud of our maths results in this country, because what it does is it gives learners the ability to achieve their dreams, and when they're achieving their dreams, they help you to achieve your dream, and they change the condition of the environment that we live in. Wouldn't that be amazing? So on that note, is there a way to download this video? Yeah, I just picked up your Ari. If you can just drop a quick email to info@mymathsbuddy.co.za, because I'm recording this and it will be loaded. And then as soon as it's loaded, we can just say, hey, Ari, we've loaded it. You can go and watch the whole thing again. Okay. So sure, there you go. I'm sorry that you missed a few things, but I'm glad that you're there. So just drop that information to info@mymathsbuddy.co.za. Okay, you can see there it's mymathsbuddy.co.za. And as soon as it's been downloaded and put up on the site, then we'll give you the link, and then you can go and watch it again. And obviously you can fast forward or rewind, whatever, when you've got it, to get to the hotspots. Okay, great, Ari, my pleasure. Okay, anybody else, last chance? Any questions, any comments or anything like that? Really would love to hear from you. Okay. All right, I'm going to be ending the webinar now. Thank you again very much for being there, and thank you for your participation, and we look forward to making you the best of the best maths teachers you can be, and changing the condition of maths in South Africa for the better. Goodbye.